All right, guys, this one here is going to blow your mind. Cannot wait to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's get started.
Part 4 of me wanting a divorce after only being married for 75 days. So, he writes me this long letter because he's a writer, so he likes to write. And so he writes me this long letter expressing his feelings to me, like a old school love letter. And I still have that letter. And so we set a date to get married, which is like a couple weeks away, a week away or so, something like that. So fast forward to the day where it's time for us to go to the courthouse and get married. Now, we had a conversation, and in that conversation about getting married, I told him that I did not want a big wedding. I wanted something intimate, very small, very personable. But if you remember me mentioning, he is like very outlandish. He always wants to be on the scene, gotta have a whole bunch of people around, gotta put on a show. But he said, okay. Not only that, I also said, all right, if we do this and we go get married, I have my own place. So I'm not giving up my own place. Like, I'll come over here or whatever, but I got a place, and, I'm going to keep my place.
Wow. Okay, let's start there. She, I'm speechless. But anyway, she doesn't want this guy to, I understand like the small intimate wedding thing. That's cool. You know what I mean? But as far as keeping your own place after marriage, guys, she doesn't want to be married for real. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Not to this guy. Okay. The signs are written as clear as day on this wall. All right. That's the issue that I have with women. And it tells it all. Divorced after 75 days. Okay. She divorced after 75 days because she didn't really want to marry this guy. She did not really want to marry him, guys. Okay. The fact that she is not leaving her apartment tells me she's already got one foot out the door. It's almost like she was doing this for shits and giggles. She was doing this for fun, almost as an extracurricular activity, almost to say. That's what I mean, guys. A lot of people out here, and believe it or not, a lot of them are women. They have no true love for the word marriage. Marriage really means nothing to them. Okay. If it did, guys, she would have still been married. And some women get married for the sport. Okay. Oh, I want a wedding. Okay, cool. I want to say I'm married, right? Whatever reason it is, guys, it's always the wrong one. Okay. Apparently in her case, it definitely is. But let's continue because I can't wait to get to the bottom of this.
And I've always said, like, if I got married, like at least that first year of marriage, like, I'm going to be in my own house because I need to see how things pan out. Because people can pretend for a long time and then you get in a situation and you like, whoa. And I'm actually not against being married and having my own house.
Yeah, that whole way of thinking, guys. And a lot of women wonder why they're gonna be forever alone. Okay. They just wonder why. And if anyone gets wind of this, if anybody else happens to get wind of this video, maybe a future suitor of hers or somebody she's dating or something like that, it's going to go very bad for her, guys, because they're going to see the writing on the wall. Anybody who moves like this, it's a wrap. Okay. And some would see this video and argue that, this would be, if I would have closed my eyes and just, and just kept the sex out of it and said, oh, you don't know if this is a man or a woman, who do you think this would be? I'm sure most people would say, oh, it's probably a guy who doesn't want to commit. It's a guy who still wants to be a player, a guy who still is not really wanting to be married or whatever. But it's this woman who's doing it. Okay. And like I said before, and I'm sticking to it, it's a woman who doesn't really want to be married. Okay. And she's saying that she's all for keeping her home or keeping her a place up until a year after a marriage is done. When other times have you been married that this has happened? I don't think it has. But anyway, for her to say that, why even get married then? Why don't you just stay dating or stay engaged, and then, and when you're truly ready, that's when you do what you do, right? To me, it sounds like someone has some trust issues in here too. I see a lot of that through this, and she's not willing to, give her place up because she's always got her mind thinking that, in any day now it could just end. And that's the mindset that a lot of people have in marriages, okay? And why they don't last, because it's a mindset thing. Marriage is actually a mindset, guys. If your mind is not there, the body is not going you're not gonna help you. It's not gonna help you, okay? If your mind is thinking like this, you might as well not be married, guys. Okay, for someone to commit to marriage is like a straight up commitment. It's like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all in. That means I'm going to trust this person or that person, and we're going to do this together. Okay, but that's not how her mind is operating, guys. And anybody who's going to marry someone and do this, they're trash. And hey, I'm blaming this guy too, because if he let this trick, run game like that, I mean, he deserves what he's getting. Okay. If a woman told me, yeah, I'll marry you, but I'm keeping my own place, and I'm marriage not happening. Okay. But it tells me that this guy really wants this girl, really wants this woman, to the point that he is willing to be okay with that. And her knowing that, she's telling herself, well, I can play married, and then when I'm tired of it, I can just say, fuck it, and go back home. That's it. That's all I'm seeing here. Let's continue.
The whole marriage. But I also told him that we needed to be married for at least 1 year before we told people. Like, we told all of our family and we told all of our friends. I was like, I'll wear the ring and people can just think that I'm engaged for the first year. Just keep it private and work through it, because anybody that has been married, or from what I've been told, the first year of marriage is the hardest year of marriage.
Bro, she is smoking sherm sticks. This is crazy, guys. She is definitely not playing with a full deck. Something's off in there. If you shake her head, something's rattling in there, guys. I'm telling you right now, this chick is lost. She's completely lost, man. Let's continue.
And for me, again, I'm very private. So me even telling this story is like a big jump for me, because I don't really get on the internet and tell my personal business. But I feel like there are a lot of women who get married and realize that the person that they're married to, that they don't want to be married to that person anymore, because of and it could be in a short period of time, and then they feel like, I got to stay married to this person because I've signed this paper and I've made these vows. And they think, even though that person may be mistreating them or not treating them the same as they did when they got together, and doing the things that made them want to be with that person might switch up, or that person might start cheating. And a lot of times women feel as though they have to stick it out in these marriages. And so I'm here to tell my story, that you don't have to stick it out. So if he's not treating you the way that you need to be treated, then you can leave. I don't care if y'all been married for 10 days. I also got the question a lot about the annulment process. So I did look into the annulment process, but the annulment process is very specific. There has to be some specific guidelines in order to get an annulment. You just can't get an annulment because you don't want to be married to that person no more. Like, you have to prove, like, in depth that this person, like, misled you, which he did, but it would have taken quite a bit of time for me to prove that. And in the state of mind that I was in, I just wanted the situation to be over.
Yeah, right. He misled you. Okay. Yeah, guys, do not take any advice from this heifer. Okay. Do not take any advice. If you see her anywhere, please, this is stay away from this crazy female at all costs, guys. Okay. She is off her meds. She is off her rocker. She needs help. Okay. And I see nothing but long, troubling days ahead as far as her relationships are concerned in the future, guys. She's definitely going to be looking back on this and wishing she may have done some things differently. Let's continue.
So the annulment process was a no-go for me. Okay, so back to it. So the day of, we get to the courthouse to get married. The courthouse is closed. It ain't no big federal holiday. The courthouse is closed. It's cold. The courthouse is closed. That was my sign, y'all. That was my sign. Nonetheless, all right, we go, go out to eat, cool. Everything is good. We go back to his house. We're hanging, we're chilling, and we like, you know what? We'll just go back tomorrow and start, to get the marriage license and sign the paperwork. So we go back the next day. I get in the courthouse, so I'm dressed, and it's very cold outside. So I have on these long boots. So I go in the courthouse, and you got to go through the metal detectors and put your stuff through the metal detectors and all that. So I had some lotion in my purse, and the lady was like, that size lotion is too big. You can't bring that in here. So you either have to take it back to the car, or you gonna have to throw it away. I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just throw it away. I attempted to walk through the metal detector, but because my boots were so high, they were like, you're going to have to take your boots off. We got to see, you can't walk through this with those boots on. So it kind of made me have attitude, like, what? I got to take my shoes off to walk through here. So nonetheless, took the boots off. Another red flag. Like, God was like, I'm trying to show you, girl. I'm trying to show you, and you ain't paying attention.
God is trying to show him, not you, bitch. Okay? He's trying to show him. Let's continue.
I wasn't paying attention. So get through, he's putting my boots back on for me, being kind, being nice, whatever. So we get up there. You know the process. You got to go up to the floor. You got to sign it. You got to sign in. You got to tell him what you're applying for. So he paid for it. So we're sitting there. So we go to the back, and the lady is just verifying all of our information, making sure we are who we say we are. So we get to the part about the name. And so I wanted to hyphenate my name. And so he was kind of like looking at me like, and then he was like, I want you to have my last name. I had no intentions of changing my name. Like, my last name was not going to be changed.
Let me just say this, and before we wrap this up, we get to the end. I'm starting to realize that after watching what I've seen, that the man she's referring to in this video is a purebred Simptonian. Okay, this guy is a super simp, and it's all coming together, guys. Okay. Any woman who comes to you that you claim you love and you want to marry, and she tells you, I'll marry you, but number one, it has to be low key. We can't tell anybody for a year. And on top of that, I'm keeping my own place. Guys, this guy is a fucking simp. Okay. Should have spotted it sooner, but I had to make sure I was completely correct on that. But now I am completely, I feel that I am 110% correct, guys. Yeah. Just picking up all the pieces, looking at all the clues. This guy is a bona fide Simptonian. And anyone who is going to let a woman get away with those things, guys, and still want to get married, yeah, you're a simp. You're doing something. Basically, everything he's doing, he's benefiting nothing from. Okay. She's getting it all. And if he, put it like this, if she loved this man, if she was really in love with this man, this is not the act of a woman who is in love with a man. Not one iota, guys, not 1%. Okay. If this woman was in love with the man, she would have no place. She would be willing to let that go. She would be willing to get his last name. All of these things, guys. Okay. You just got to follow the breadcrumbs. This guy is, whoever this guy is, he deserved it. He deserved this. Okay. Everything he's getting, he deserved this. All right. If you're not going to stand up for yourself, all right, this is what you're going to get. Okay. Let's finish this up.
Like, I'm not changing my last name unless I'm probably like, if, and I really don't have to get married anymore. Like, been there, done that. I don't know. We'll probably have to be married like 5 or 10 years before I change my name. Like, I'm not changing my name. Like, I would at least hyphenate my name. So I'm just like, whatever. I ain't worried about that because that's a whole nother process. I have to come back and I have to change my name. We went through the process. We get out and we now have to get the reverend to officiate. So he calls he's a member of a church. Another thing, when he met me, we talked about spirituality. We talked about God. I let him know that I have a good relationship with God. He took me saying that I have a relationship with God to mean that I am very religious. Now, hold on to that because that's going to come back up. But he is very religious. I'm going to let y'all ponder on that for a minute. So he calls his reverend to officiate it, and the reverend's like, okay, cool, I'll be there in an hour. So we go get something to eat. On the way to get something to eat, he calling his sisters, he calling his cousins, he calling his friends. Oh, I just got married. So he gets off the phone, and I was like, I thought I told you that we're not telling anybody that we're married.
Like I said, guys, I can't talk right now. I'm just letting you know that she's telling you right now that she does not love this man. She doesn't want anyone to know. Nobody. Okay. He, on the other hand, wants to let everybody know. He wants to sing the praises. He wants to shout to the rooftops. Okay. It's apparent she does not love this man. She really wants nothing to do with this man. It's almost like he nagged her to marry him. And she said, okay, I'll marry you. But these stipulations, we can't tell anybody and we have to wait. And I'm still keeping my place. And he's probably telling her, it's okay. You know what I mean? Just stay with me and you can still keep your place. And basically, you can still do whatever you want. I just want to be married. Just say you'll marry me. Okay. Straight up Simptonian. Straight up simp. Okay. I'm just, and like I said, any man who does this, I can't support. I can't get behind him. All right. I just can't. All right. This is a community here and I'm trying to help men in this community. All right. And for me to coddle somebody who is allowing this type of stuff to go on, guys, I can't do it, guys. I just can't. So whoever this guy is, I hope you see this video one day. Maybe you find it and maybe you can stop being a simp, or maybe you can learn from your mistakes. But usually, you know what they say, once a simp, always a simp. Okay. For the most part, there have been exceptions, but you know the drill. Let's continue.
We gonna, keep it between us and see how things go. And he's just like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited about it. I'm just so happy to be a married man. I'm just so happy to have a beautiful wife. Like, I just think you're amazing. You're the most amazing woman that I ever met.
She's
and I
not.
just want to tell everybody about it. There was no way I was going to let you, I had to wife you up.
She's not special.
Just let you go. So we get to the church, and the reverend brings his wife with him. So before we start the officiating process, I go use the restroom. The wife also is in the restroom with me. And so, she sparks up conversation, and she was telling me how her and her husband had only known each other for 3 months, and they got married and they had been married for 30 years. And she was just giving me old school advice, about marriage. But she also told me to not lose myself in the marriage and to always, always, always be the center of my marriage and don't make him the center of my marriage. And so, I held on to that. And I've always said that a man is not going to be the center of my universe. But I held on to that.
That's the end of the video, guys. It's cutting off after that, but none of it is really relevant after this anyway. I mean, the main reason I decided to do this video is because people needed to see how outlandish some of these women out here are, guys. If I haven't shown you enough on this channel, just when you think you've seen it all, one of these will pop up. And I'm rubbing my hands together like Birdman when I'm watching it for the first time. And I'm just so blessed to be able to make a video on this to give you guys and let you see, okay? Because you're probably watching a lot of this content like, okay, here's another one and another one. But every once in a while, you'll get one like this, okay? And it just, it's sad, but it's so funny at the same time. Because she truly believes that she has said nothing wrong. She has done nothing wrong. And her views are completely justified. That is the true crime in all of this. With a lot of women, okay? There's a lot of women who you will see talk crazy, and they truly believe the words that are coming out of their mouths. And that is why they will forever be destined to be single for life, because they can't get past their own self. They can't get past it. They can't see past their own shadow. And deservingly so. If that's how you feel, if that's how you want to live your life, then you must accept what comes with that. Okay. And this is speaking from someone who's married. I love to see people in the comments sometimes to talk and say, you know, smart shit. I don't feed trolls on this channel anyway, but I typically let my community handle that for me if they see fit. But usually I don't feed the trolls here, and I let them talk their shit and do their thing. But most of these people that are talking, they aren't married, or they were divorced and they can't find anyone else. Okay. They have a low success rate, and they're salty, and they're sitting in their angst, and they're sitting in their depression, and they're coping. Okay. That's all it is. All right. And people don't know how to deal with that. And the true answer is very simple. Usually you can just go into your bathroom, wherever you're living, wherever your place is, and you can turn on the light and look at yourself in the mirror. That's the problem. There is your issue. Okay. And the sooner that we figure this out, guys, the better off in life we'll be. Okay. So I hope this serves a lesson. Okay. To women out there who are watching this, but definitely to men, my community. I hope this finds you well, guys, and I'll leave it at that. Okay. I want to thank everybody for watching and peeping out the content, guys. If you enjoy this, and if you want to see more, and if you're interested in growing this community, please do not hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Okay. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.